the sun, you could have stayed. It's only over when the day is done. I never knew you was a runner, yeah. I mistook you for a son. It don't matter what we think when it's all over. 'Cause this is our last chance to leave it all behind. Raise your voice and raise your power, yeah. This is our last chance to leave it all behind. Raise your voice, raise your power, yeah.
Archie, is it fun?
Fun.
Fun.
After me. Ready? Happy?
Happy.
New?
New?
New. Yeah.
Boom.
Was wrong to say I wouldn't change a thing, 'cause in the story of our lives, the best of times through color glass, time rolls on enough to let me move on past, but every little now and then it creeps on back to shape my smile.
Today is August 25th, 2022. It is 1:34 a.m. This is my back end. I have a lot to share with you. I don't want to talk nonsense at the beginning. Alright, first tweet. This is Omid. Once silenced by the institution, Meghan finally has her voice back, a voice that will be very familiar to those who follow her before meeting Harry. This time, however, she's brought an entire movement alongside it. My latest Yahoo UK. I then read it, but I thought that Omid, one of the royal reporters, who's been we may not agree with everything he says, but who's been somewhat kind of a fair reporter. He doesn't make up stuff in comparison to the other royal rats. Alright, and he is right. This time, however, Meghan did bring an entire movement. As a matter of fact, I don't know if I shared that tweet where, the next podcast number 2 is gonna be with Mariah Carey. One of the comments that I said, oh my God, the monarchy is over. Now having Mariah in her podcast is bringing another set of group of people on Meghan's side, because Mariah Carey has a lot of fans, and if they are aware of her being in the podcast with Meghan, that's gonna be a huge addition. And I can't wait to hear what Mariah's gonna say, because she's an icon and she owns her entire someone corrected me. I said album, but they said something else. What's the name? Catalog. That's it, catalog. But when I was responding to the tweet. I said album, I couldn't think of catalog, but someone did correct me. Catalog. All right, so let's see some of the comments under Omid. Like at Scobie said, no matter what those biggest royal experts says, Archetype is in the top 5 position in many countries. If I'm not mistaken, I saw some squad showing it's number 1. Okay, so let's see here. Yeah, there it is, number 1. Wow, it took over Joe Rogan, because Joe Rogan have been number 1, I don't know, for a very long time. Every time I popped up or see, not every time, but whenever I happen to see what podcast is number 1, it's always Joe Rogan. You may not like what he's saying, but hey, he talks about almost everything. All right, so he's number 2 now. So Archetype took it over on one podcast. Can you imagine that? All right, there it is again in USA. Archetype number 1. Okay, girls next level. Okay. Oh, I didn't even know they had a podcast. Holly Madison and Bridget Mark. It wasn't her who was with what's that Playboy guy who passed away now? I forgot. Hugh Hefner or something, I think. They had that TV show. Okay. Holly Madison. Okay, I could be wrong, but I don't know all of their names. Okay, so here, which country is that? Okay, so here Joe Rogan is number 1 and Archetype is number 2. Okay, there she is here, number 2. Wow, Joe Rogan number 5. UK. Okay, Joe Rogan is number 5. Okay, and Meghan is number 2. This needs to be updated. She's number 1 in all of these places now, including Australia. Okay, quote, just last month, a tawdry book on the Duchess by a male journalist featured close to 36 uses of the word, almost exclusively negatively, ambitious and ruthless. Best bit. Since when it is a crime to be ambitious? Okay, if movement is right, she's becoming a huge voice for her generation and for women in general. There's a laugh, lol. Why is she laughing? Okay, what other comment that was says in there? Well, not the British bottom feeders or racist, but generally, yeah, Meghan is very well received internationally. The detractors are wearing serious blinders. That's for sure. Alright, so, oh, there's more. Let's see here. People really are listening. Inspiration of women. Okay, let's see that one. Okay, she's number 1 in Canada. Joe Rogan is number 1 in the US, but number 2 is Archetype. In the UK, Joe Rogan, Archetype is number 2. Australia, where is she? She's number 4. Okay. New Zealand, she's number 4. Ireland, where is she? She's number 5. Okay. And where is that? UK number 1. Did I see UK here? Okay, so but that's probably an update after that. Here she was number 2 in the UK, so maybe different. Okay, tab podcast chart. Okay, so this one is Tab Society and Culture. She's number 1. Okay, where is she? She's number 2 here in the UK as well. So that must be a okay, Tab podcast. Okay, so here Tab Society and Culture, Archetype is number 1, and for Tab podcast, she's number 2, and it's being said here as well. All right, let's see here. There's some chart. Term rank Meghan. Wow, Ukraine is number 1 in term of, I guess, the war, and Meghan is number 2. Daily Scope, Meghan number 2. All right, okay, so she's up there. All right, let's see it. It's a crying Wednesday, y'all. Omid dropped his column, although their eyes are already swollen from all the crying they have been doing since yesterday. I put a bit more thought into it. Going forward until at least mid-November for the haters, it will be Tearful Tuesday after Archetypes new episode and Weeping Wednesday after Omid dropped his column. I didn't read Omid's column, so I don't know exactly what he said. You have put a nail in the coffin with this great unbiased article, as usual, Omid. Indeed, Meghan has regained her voice, no longer to be silenced. She is now free to tell the truth and set the record straight. Can those shameful British clowns, royal family, look at themselves in a mirror? Okay, I think the royal family are good. Thanks anyway. All right. You know, sometimes you need to listen to some criticism, constructive criticism, and then see how you could move in forward. If the young people, remember when they said the children are our future, well, the old people tends due to reality, okay, but sometimes it doesn't go that way, but due to reality, the old people tends to be the one who should die first. Should, but it's not always the case. But if the young people are, you know, embracing Harry and Meghan's type of voice moving forward, well, if the institution wants to stay alive, they need to listen to the young people, because they will be the next one who take over the, you know, once the old people are gone. So if they don't want to listen, that's okay. Nobody can force them. But just remember, to be in a sustainable kind of way, you have to listen to the young and adjust yourself in a way. All right, let's see here. Next tweet: American love archetypes. Okay, 4 minutes and 36 seconds. I have to stop in between. Let's listen.
Prince Harry and a new podcast on Spotify. The first episode of Archetypes features an interview with Meghan's friend, they're very good friends, Serena Williams. It's her first in-depth interview since announcing her plans to retire from tennis. The two women discuss.
And I've said in previous podcasts, since podcasts have come out live, and I said I think Meghan sort of, or the whole team, the Archwell, took, how do you call this? Waited until Serena made her own announcement about being retired, and then that's when Archetype put their first episode out, because Serena was the first guest, so therefore they wanted Serena to do it herself and see how she handle the, how would you say that, how she handle her own way of putting it out there. All right, so let's continue.
Discuss everything from their careers to motherhood, including a brush with danger. It was just minutes after this 2019 speech in South Africa that Meghan Markle says she and Prince Harry learned about a frightening incident involving their son Archie, who was traveling with them at the time. We finish the engagement, we get in the car, and they say, "There's been a fire at the residence." What? "There's been a fire in the baby's room." What? Meghan shared the story with Serena Williams during her podcast, Archetypes. The Duchess said the baby was thankfully with his nanny at the time. Her instinct is like, let me just bring him with me before I put him down. In that amount of time that she went downstairs, the heater in the nursery caught on fire. There was no smoke detector. Someone happened to just smell smoke down the hallway, went in, fire extinguished. He was supposed to be sleeping in there.
And one of the thing that I said on my podcast on this particular topic is, why will they need a heater in the room? And I've had some response to that. People said that it gets chilly. I mean, it's obvious get chilly, but chilly to the extent where you need a heater. Okay, when like I go to the country and stuff like that, it's completely different from the city where it gets chilly at night. But then again, I'm not them, but people have corrected me on the on what I've said. Why will they need a heater due to the weather and stuff like that? They say it does get chilly at night. Okay, so there, I'm done with this part of topic. Let's continue.
Despite the close call, Meghan says she and Prince Harry still had to carry on with their royal duties. Everyone's in tears. Everyone's shaken.
And what do we have to do? Go out and do another official engagement. I said, this doesn't make any sense. Can you just...
Why did you not bring him?
I was like, can you just tell people what happened? And so much, I think, optically, the focus ends up being on how it looks instead of how it feels.
Throughout the conversation, both Meghan and Williams talk about the challenges of motherhood. Williams recalled playing a match at the 2018 French Open after being up all night with her daughter, who had a broken wrist.
And somehow managed to win.
This is the thing where many of us tend to look at the glamorous aspect of things, but when we really look deeper, if we know what these people are going through in the background, wow, many of us will not be able to handle it. This is why everyone have their own baggage to carry, and they know how to carry it. So when you interfere into somebody else's life, you know, we tell God to give you a baggage to carry because God knows how to deal with you. But, you know, the things that these mothers went through, it's unbelievable. Many of us may not be able to handle it. All right, but let's continue.
But I was so emotionally spent and just like so emotionally drained that it was crazy. And you know, and then like every night after that, I just was with her the whole time and was like, you're going to be with me. And I just took a lot on, but moms do a lot.
People should expect the real me in this.
The 12-episode podcast explores female stereotypes, with this episode centering on the word ambitious.
I don't ever remember personally feeling the negative connotation behind the word ambitious until I started dating my now husband. And apparently ambition is a terrible, terrible thing. For a woman, that is, according to some.
That feeling was part of Meghan's decision to speak with Williams. The 23-time Grand Slam champion recently announced her retirement from professional tennis in a Vogue magazine article.
I was just sitting in the hotel at the desk, just typing and deleting and typing and thinking and then crying and sitting at my computer and tears streaming down my face as I'm writing these words and going back on these memories. And it was just like, God, it was really hard.
Now, the tennis legend says she's looking forward to focusing on what she considers her best role, that of mom.
You know, obviously I'm retiring professionally, but it's also an evolution. I'm doing more business things, and I really want to expand my family. And you know, I've been putting it off for so long, and as a woman, there's only so long you can put that off.
That's true. That's true.
I love listening to icons.
It's very hard when you're a woman. I remember when in 2008, when the businesses were closing, there was that huge thing going on. Companies were not making money. I remember the firm that I was working on, they started getting rid of people a little at a time. And I think I was one of the 2 or 3 people left in the firm. So I knew eventually they will get rid of me. I saw the movement, the kind of uncomfortableness in the firm. I was like, I'm not gonna quit. I'm gonna let them fire me. So eventually they had to, because they were not getting any job and things were hard. And when that moment finally happened, and that's when I told my husband that this is it. This is the time to start a family. If you're not gonna do it, that's it. This is the time. While I'm not working, I don't have to worry about running back to work and all of that. And thank God it happened very quickly, because in the next year, 2009, my firstborn was born. And now, many times, since I think when I was on the trip, on camping trip, I was talking to my cousin, and I'm like, I don't see myself starting all over again to have another baby and do all of that. I was telling her that, because that moment, that time where my mind was into creating and raising a family was that time. That was it. But now both of my kids have grown. They're starting. Believe me, there's a lot of work needs to be done. They're starting to be a little bit more independent, and I'm like, I don't see myself starting all over again with a newborn, staying up at night, feeding and all of that. I'm done with babies. It's nice to be looking at other people with babies and then just hand it back. I don't see myself starting all over again. But I could understand Serena, who wants to, she's at the age where, I mean, don't get me wrong, her lifestyle and mine are completely different, because her sport require her to be at her best top self shape, physically, mentally, and athletically, and all of that. But sometime when you're done, you're done. All right, so let's continue. Oh, it's not done yet.
Jamie, I have a question. Forgive me for not grasping the idea why being ambitious is bad for a woman.
Before I continue, I have to say, this guy, I think he's a retired football player. I like the type of question he tends to be asking during his segment. Like, for instance, during the Amber Heard thing, when who was there? He was asking questions. I remember hearing him. Some of the questions he was asking were spot on, were some of the things most people will be thinking of, but then ask. But he's pretty good. All right, let's continue.
I think, as a woman, when you're in the room, I think if a guy has an idea or goes forward or is even upset about something or is trying to right a wrong of another coworker or something, they're ambitious and they're climbing the ladder. If I, as a woman, do that, I'm looked at as somebody who's, a problem. You need to be nice, calm down.
Gotcha.
And I think it's that idea, and a lot of women are people pleasers, and you kind of get into that role of, okay,
woman
I'll keep my head
pleasers.
down, I'll do the job, that I'm sent here to do, but I don't want to push too far. I don't want to say too much. I don't want to be too angry,
Right.
And come off in a certain way.
So I got to use different words for it, right? Like ambitious is a man and pushy is the girl.
Pushy, yes, I've heard that a
Man's
lot.
ambitious, he's passionate about what he does. You see that a lot in sports as well. I love an ambitious woman, An ambitious woman, there's nothing wrong with that in my eyes, but I hear what you're saying, though, for sure.
Well, I appreciate that. But we need guys to feel that way. We got you.
It's part of the conversation.
All right, coming up.
People are talking. That's the whole thing here, because these are the quiet words that people tends to brush under the rug. So now that it's part of the conversation, it's not a bad word to be ambitious, because if you're not ambitious, who is going to want you to be ambitious? Everybody wants piece of the pie for themselves, so you have to be ambitious with a degree of respect and understanding and all of that. All right, let's read some of the comment. Okay, how it looks is that racist royal family wanted to kill an innocent baby. What is wrong with these evil people? Okay, such a huge contrast to the British media and breakfast show. Archetype. Okay, I would like to see some of the clips that they put in. Okay, the British media, we all know, is the propaganda arm of the firm. They have to spew the lies to get paid. Okay, not just American, but 100% yes, they do. I appreciate the professionalism of American world media covering this, and as a Brit, I sadly can't say the same about our media. Why wouldn't we? She's American. But the thing is, it's fair discussion. But for the British media, everything is negative, negative, negative. There's one video that I came across where I think I bookmarked it. The caller put the person on its place for the question that she asked, because she started in a negative way and expect the caller to feed on the negative question that was asked. Okay, whoever produced the segment did an excellent job. I think so, and did. See, damn it. How much better is it when stuff is just reported? Slam dunk, wonderful report. I love the conversation it sparked amongst the presenters. That was great. Good report. Now this is how you do reporting, just facts. Yeah. All right, let's continue. All we asking people is just be fair. No one is asking you just because it's Meghan Markle you need to talk positive. Be fair with what she's doing and what she's saying and what she's reporting or whatever. No one is asking you to go out of your way to say positive things all the time. People are human. There will be mistake that is made. So if there is a mistake that is made based on your perspective, if you see it's wrong, let people know it is wrong. If you look at the beginning of my podcast, believe me, I had some very harsh criticism, and I feed on those harsh criticism. And for some reason, I tend to have a sense when the people who's saying their comment, it's coming out of a good place. They don't come straight and just bash me or whatever, but they come with a way of understanding, and then through that I direct my podcast in a way to base on what I see the person said. And if I think about it, and if the person is right, I check myself. Alright, so people need to listen to constructive criticism. Like one of the podcasts, they're saying one of the audio is not working, so it's something I need to look back and see what's going on. Okay, next tweet. Archetypes is trending as the #2 podcast in the US after yesterday's cold drop with little advance promotion. This is why the girl will stay mad. Meghan Markle stay winning. Okay, there it is. What was really funny with some of the squad is that they were, calling each other a clown for not picking up on why they didn't know that the podcast was coming and all of that. It's just drop, and then the squad was like, what's going on? We didn't know. We were too busy, putting the other ones who was trying to, they were doing the fight pretty much, okay? Putting the others who like to bad-mouthing Meghan. So they were busy on that, so they were calling themselves out. Alright, so there's this, Type US. There's Joe Rogan, #1, and Archetype, #2. Okay, there's that. Alright, let's see here. I said it will take a miracle for Archetype to overtake Joe Rogan in the top spot. Well, miracle do happen. Archetype is #1 podcast in Canada and second in the UK. Yeah, Joe Rogan, like I said, you may not like his conversation or whatever, but he does attract people. Depend on what is being discussed. Pretty much reality, things that is happening. You may not agree with them, but I think what is it? Was it at the beginning of the summer? There was some issues with him. Something he had said. I don't remember what was said, but people were removing themselves from Spotify and all of that. So there was some issues. I forgot what it was. It's on top of my head. If I really think that much, think about it, I will get it. But right now, because of timing, I'm already 24 minutes. I don't want to waste time on that. Alright, there's this. There's the UK. She's #2, and Joe Rogan is #5. Because I think he also discussed martial art, because a lot of guys are into all of that, and you name it, whatever the topic is, he talk about it. And I think at the beginning of my channel, I've mentioned him through the Johnny Depp thing, and I think he was the first one who pretty much hit the nail on the head with Amber Heard, with the thing that she was doing. And I think I've put clips of him saying what he feel about the Johnny Depp Amber Heard situation. Okay, it looks like it will continue to go up from here. What an amazing show. All right, let's see here. Top Heard, #2, and this one #1 in the UK, Society and Culture podcast. And what's this? Society and Culture. There it is. It went up. And the thing is that the people who's putting her down are the one who's listening to it too. Father God, we thank you for preparing a table for the Sussexes, Meghan Markle, and for her enemies to come and dine and promote. That is true though. They are helping promoting. We know everyone who hates them are secret friends. God bless them all. In the name of Jesus Christ. Hallelujah. Amen. Meghan Markle already has more listeners and subscribers than most of the British journalists who are obsessed with her. There's a laugh. I love it for them. I watch it all night and will rinse and repeat again tonight with much enjoyment. Okay, as she should, on fire. They can stay mad. There's that. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, let's go to the next tweet. There's more. Okay, let's see here. #2 in the UK. So they were saying the same thing. UK, Touchy is irrelevant. Okay, Prince Harry's book may come out after the last episode of Archetypes corroborate everything that Princess Meghan revealed, his story plus history. Apparently, he gives a good advice, so with both, we may get game-changing lessons to embrace for personal and professional life. Okay, Spotify didn't have to do any promotion because the haters will do it for them. We thank the haters for hate listening and adding to the numbers. That's right, numbers don't lie. Love how the media is doing the promotion. Spotify marketing department is saving loads of money. That's for sure. Okay, oh, I love a bit of crime junkie pad too. Okay, cool drop. Wow, I love this for Meghan. Maybe it was just a test. Okay, just drop it. Don't say anything, just drop it. The only thing that we knew, Meghan said it was coming in the summer. And I believe the day before could be the day before it was dropped. Someone, a hater, said something on one of the comments like, how come her podcast is not out or whatever. And then bam, the following day, it was dropped. Okay, I think all of the 12 episodes already recorded, or if not, maybe the team are still editing at least the last episode or something like that. But everything was already recorded and fact checking and what needs to be done. So like one of the comments says, maybe they're waiting after the last episode. I think they said a dozen, so 12 episodes, and then Harry's book is gonna come out, and then they're probably gonna discuss it together. That would be nice. Oh my god, Spotify is gonna be on fire. All right, next tweet. This is Good Morning America. Meghan Markle debuts new podcast with special guest Serena Williams and reveals scary incidents while on tour with her son Archie. James Longman report. Okay, 2 minutes and 31 seconds.
Good morning, Michael. The Misconception of Ambition. That's the name of the first episode of Meghan Markle's new podcast series. It has to be said, this has been a bit of a long time coming. Harry and Meghan signed an $18 million deal with Spotify 2 years ago. Nevertheless, the first episode has a very special guest, Serena Williams.
And I think people should expect. I think that $18 million already been, Spotify probably already make it back already on the first episode itself, because there it is. Everybody's talking about it. And they didn't even, like some of the comments says, they didn't even need to promote the podcast. First drop off, everybody's talking about it around the world. All right, let's listen.
The real me in this, and probably the me that they've never gotten to know, certainly not in the past few years.
Meghan Markle looking to change perceptions as she launches her new podcast, Archetypes, part of a multi-million-dollar deal with Spotify.
I'm just excited to be myself and talk and be unfiltered, and yeah, it's fun.
The Duchess left the UK and royal duties with Prince Harry in 2020. She revealed the pressure she says she felt to keep calm and carry on.
As I'm listening to this, and I'm like, the gold mine that the UK had, but instead, because of their unethical practice, they didn't want that. But okay, let's listen.
During a scary close call, she spoke all about it to Serena Williams.
I'm giving this speech to women and girls, and we finish the engagement, we get in the car, and they say, there's been a fire at the residence. What? There's been a fire in the baby's room.
Wow.
What?
Stop. And the thing is that of all places, the baby's room. Can you imagine that? Of all places in the hotel, the baby's room. Okay, so people have to put one and one together and say, how could that be? Okay, and I think I come across a tweet that I think an article spoke about it, but let's continue.
God, I can't believe we haven't talked about this.
No.
Markle on tour in South Africa with Prince Harry and Archie in 2019, when she says the heater in Archie's nursery caught fire.
He was supposed to be sleeping in there. And we came back, and of course, as a mother, you go, oh my God, what just... Everyone's in tears, everyone's shaken. And what did we have to do? Go out and do another official engagement. And I said, this doesn't make any sense. Can you just...
Why did you not bring him?
I was like, can you just tell people what happened? And so much, I think, optically, the focus ends up being on how it looks instead of how it feels.
That trip was the same one Markle told ITV News.
Not many people have asked if I'm okay, but
And can you imagine all the things that was going on. You would think, okay, she's in South Africa, all the issues that was dealing in the UK, don't get me wrong, she still remember it, but in a new place, she tried to forget about it. You know, be in the new place, a new country, just focus on the engagement. And then while she's there, trying to forget all the issues she was dealing with in the UK, and then this happened while she's in South Africa. I mean, they don't give that woman a break at all. They don't give her a break at all. You could see in this interview how, now we know the heavy burden, the load that was within that spot right there as she gave that interview. All of the other things were add to it. Because they're telling her, carry on, don't talk about it, don't do this, don't do that. Meanwhile, all of those nonsense that we now know was going on in the background. My goodness, God is good, and may God keep protecting them.
Markle told ITV News.
Not many people have asked if I'm okay, but it's a very real thing to be going through behind the scenes.
This podcast is an opportunity to speak not just unfiltered, but also in a way that we haven't heard from her before. This is Meghan not as a Duchess of Sussex. It's another step away from her life as a working royal, and one that she's clearly enjoying.
Now, I've listened to this first episode, and the thing that really strikes you is how good Meghan's voice is for podcasting. It's so smooth and rich. It's brilliant to listen to. Now, it's likely...
He's 100% correct. Even when you listen to The Elephant, the documentary I think she did for, what was it, Disney? No, not Disney. Was it Discovery? Okay, one of those. I don't want to say the wrong network, but Elephant. Oh my God, her voice is so smooth and calm in that video. Okay, he's right, he's spot on.
This podcast to attract a lot of big names. Mariah Carey is lined up next. I'm a massive Mariah fan, so I'll definitely be listening out for that, guys.
You are very excited.
He's excited, yeah.
Good morning.
All right, let's see some of the comment. Great coverage. Meghan's voice is really good for podcasts, that's for sure. Someone need to ask Prince Charles and Prince William about the fire and an innocent baby's room, and who asked the fire to be set in an innocent baby room. These vases are evil, but they will get their karma and biggest pain. Watch, God hates evil people. Okay, this girl is on fire. Live everything, her soothing voice and clothes. Typo error, love everything. Okay, love right here, love everything here. This was refreshing. This is the type of commentator that GMA needs to use, not the ones that sneak and snide and rude comments like previous Royal Voter reporters. Thank you. You know what just crossed my mind? And this particular thing here, who probably would have been doing it is that one, the eyelashes one, who was crying for. Now that people know of her, she's missing out. She's missing out for not thinking of ethical kind of things. And I'm sure she will spend it in a way to benefit the royal family. All right, thank you. Yes, thank you, James Longman. He and Omid are the only ones type US media should use. Okay, this was a great segment. It's so refreshing to hear a Meghan story without vitriol. Thanks, GMA. Yeah, Meghan's voice is so lovely, soothing. I agree. I'm a fan of Meghan anywhere, so I was going to listen, but that podcast was so good and went beyond what I expected. The conversational style of the podcast kept me gripped. Looking forward to Mariah. All right, let's see here. The uncensored episode entitled, quote, The Misconception of Ambition, quote, was nothing short of witty, daring, and captivating. The bravery of speaking about embracing ambition and dissecting the many ways society tried to limit women were highlights that spark flame many listeners will find enjoyable. Okay, I love the podcast. Can't wait for Miss Mimi episode. Excellent reporting. I really enjoy her first podcast. I can't wait to hear Meghan and Mariah chat next week. Love you, Meghan Markle. So glad he mentioned her smooth voice. We can't wait to. Love. All right, next tweet. I have a lot of videos to edit. Lots of buzz about the debut episode of Meghan Markle's new podcast, which features Serena Williams and our own Professor Dr. Laura Cray talking about the tropes and stereotypes used against women in the workplace. Check it out. You know what? One of the things that crossed my mind, remember when they were in the US, they were just starting to, I guess, find their foot. All right? One clip that came out was when Harry and Meghan went to which university? Was it University of Berkeley or somewhere in California? So I think this was some of the research. I don't know what I said in that podcast when that clip came across, is that they were doing their research, putting things together. This is the background work we don't get to hear. All the traveling to get the information and, put foot on the ground and all of that. That was before Archewell was created. And I think the name at that time were they trying to get the Archewell, what copyright? They were trying to create it as the organization and stuff like that. So that was at the beginning of that. So when they traveled to that university, and I don't remember what I said in that podcast, but this was some of the footwork that was being done in the background. I mean, when people see the finished product of some of those podcasts and work and movies, you name it, there's a lot of things that goes in the background. Many of us don't get to see. You just get the final product, and if they did a good job, if they did what they needed to do, and we see the smooth selling, the good work that they did. All right, let's continue reading. Okay, great insight. Thank you. Totally aligned with the hype. Great Archetype podcast at Dr. Laura and Meghan. Archetype, Meghan, Archewell Audio. Okay, a whole bunch of hashtag. Okay, number 1 here, number 2 here. Probably the same thing is being. Okay, there she is. I think number 4. Number 4 here. Where is she here? She's number 4 here. Number 4 here. Okay, thank you, Dr. Cray. Love the Archetype podcast. Great insight on tropes and stereotype used against women. Thank you, at Dr. Laura Cray. And you know what? The hard work, the editor who edited the podcast did. It's like when the professional was asked about the I forgot what was the question they asked about ambition. Obviously, probably about the ambition. It probably was done in a different time, different setting, and then to insert it where it was appropriate through the podcast. So it was really good. I know there's a lot of hard work that went behind that first episode alone. Okay, thank you, at Dr. Laura Cray. Totally worth the hype. It was brilliant. Thank you, Dr. Laura Cray. But what hype? There was no promoting of that prior to that. They just drop it. And lately, a lot of artists have been doing that. I think who did recently dropped an album, and then there were some issues where Monica Lewinsky, was it oh my god, I'm seeing her face, was it Beyonce? Yeah, Beyonce just dropped her album, and then people were talking about it. I mean, I didn't cover it, but I was aware of it because it did happen. It was mentioned on what was trending on Twitter, so that's how I was aware of when she dropped it. But it wasn't part of this kind of conversation for me to share it with you. But I did share the part about Monica Lewinsky. If you go on my other channel, you'll hear about it. But lately, a lot of people, they don't do those type of promotion. They take care of their thing, and then they just drop it, and their friend do the promoting for them. All right, next tweet. Okay, as a woman in business, I really enjoy listening to Meghan Markle's chat to Serena Williams and appreciated a lot of what they were discussing. I always listen with fresh ears and can't even understand the reasoning for the hate sent her way. She's done well. Good. Okay, so that's from British Boxers. Okay, well, for one thing, there's a lot of money being made of the hate and lies. Clearly, tabloid pay quite handsomely if you are willing to lie. Liars get a check, tabloid get their clicks. And, you know, I covered that. I'm not 100% sure which channel I put it. If it's this channel, PYTE, or my back end, where, you know, those royal rats who were paid to lie about Meghan, now they're having some problem because people are tired of the lies. So they're not making, the newspapers are not making that much money. So I believe the so-called expert or royal rats are having issues. They want the pay raise, and I think they're gonna do a strike, and everybody is all for it. They say make it permanent. All right, let's see here. Meghan Markle's former co-star says he was offered $70,000 to lie about dating her. Rex and Markle both appear in one episode of the sitcom Cuts in 2005.
know we can rely on you for being a great guy. So what an incredible friend you were to Meghan Markle is. Have you guys hung out at all since then?
No, we haven't spoken. She just wrote me a very nice thank you letter, and I framed it, and that was very nice of her to do. She just appreciated that I was honest, but it's so funny that we live in a time where everyone's like, it's such a big deal. I just did the right thing. Right. You know, it's okay to feel like that should be the norm and the status quo, but it's like, whoa, it's so crazy. He told the truth. I think we should all be a little more honest.
Well, thank you for doing the right thing.
I hope he has, in one of those episodes, she brings him in. She brings him in because, you know, being in the, okay, I'm not an actor to know personally, but from the outside, you could see being an actor is, there's a lot of competition. There's a lot of people and upcoming actors who want your spot. And at the time when they offer him that money, he said he really needed the money, but he didn't want to lie to get it. So he didn't take it. May God, you know, open doors for him. All right, because this could have been an easily paycheck for him. And he didn't take it. All right, the hate is about their prince loving her and nothing else. Everything else is an excuse to hide their racism. You know, as much I can, did I put it here? Because one of the tweets that I bookmarked where there was a color in one of the UK TV shows and put the presenter in its place for that. That's what came to mind. I can't wait to share that part with you. All right, so let's see here. The hate is about their prince. And the thing is that Harry made his choice. We can't change his mind. He already made his choice, and these people wants to control Harry. That's the problem here. They took his mother away, and everybody in the UK want to step in, be Harry's mother or whatever it may be, and control him. My goodness. Let's see here. There's that. All right. Let's see here. Oh, do you have a link for this interview? Sure. Here it is. There's that. It's only 19 seconds. Working mothers, I don't working mothers, I don't so think both women no doubt have and can afford nannies. A working mother is a mother doing 12-hour shift on a A&E. What the hell? I mean, everyone in their respective field, okay, understand their position and what needs to be done. Being a mother, if you care about the child you decided to have, you want to be hands-on. Nanny cannot take place of your feeling, your understanding, your comforty kind of motherhood. You mean you need to work hard to be well known? And this is the problem with many people. Need to work smarter, not harder. But my goodness, why? Oh my God, this is something that I can understand, and this is why one of the reasons I decided, not my husband, I decided to be a stay-at-home mom. You know why? Because when I was in college and high school, I was doing babysitting. I spend more time with the kids than their mother. Okay, and I still keep in touch with one of them. And I was like, I don't want to be in that position. And then this is what helped me pay for my college. It's not cheap. It's not cheap to hire nannies, especially if you have 2 kids. Okay? Me being part-time, to say the least, part-time nanny helped me pay my college. And I came out without a debt. So when I saw that, and I saw some of the things friends around him of that kid that I used to babysit were doing, I was like, oh my God, I want to be near my child. And then even though I was, you know, being a full-time mom, and then at night, now that I'm doing podcasts, you could see I wake up, well, you don't know, but every time I start my podcast, I'll tell you the time and the date. I'm usually up, you know, that was before the podcast, and I will do freelance work, being up all night working. So this, me doing the podcast in the middle of the night and all of that, it's regular, it's normal for me, because when I used to do freelance work, I used to be up all night. But when I realized I'm not getting paid and I had to fight to get my money, and I was like, F it, I don't want to put this burden in on myself, staying up all night doing the work, and then I have to call people in court to get paid. But these people who's putting those celebrities down for being a mother, my God, wow. It's completely different when you hire someone and when you are the mother. Look at this. Meghan had to do engagement, and while she's not in the presence of Archie, she had a nanny to be the replacement for her. But still, she's like, she wanted to stay with her baby after the incident that just happened. But they tell her, no, you need to carry on, pretend that nothing happened. I mean, you could see that last clip from that other TV show where they show her with what's the other presenter in the UK was asking her, are you okay? Long and behold, she was going through so much, and you could see it in her face. Maybe that fire thing was fresh in her mind. You could see the puffy eye. I've always told you guys, I think the very first time that I saw that video, I did say something about her being crying, not knowing what was going in the background. You could see to people's face certain things that had happened. So maybe she was crying and she didn't want to be doing that after that incident. My goodness. And then of all places in the hotel, it's Archie's room. Can you imagine that? People need to ask questions. Why is this specific spot? And then there's no smoke detector or carbon monoxide detector and all of that. Alright, bless. It's crazy, isn't it? If you just listen to her, their words over the past few years, it's a non-controversial. In fact, it's vanilla as F. Okay, exactly that. There's zero controversy whatsoever. The whole circus is utterly ridiculous. And you could see why the royal rats you know, they're showing us that the royal family are afraid, because they put them through so much. They're afraid with Harry's memoir because they know what they did. Okay? They know what they did to Harry and Meghan. It's massively profitable as well as useful wedge issue. Alright, there's this. Yes, little men and women hate smart, confident, and intelligent women who have something to say. It's laughable how queue up on ITV and other media outlets to criticize her as if she's bothered. Okay, Meghan's podcast was absolutely brilliant. I'm looking forward to next week's episode. Thumbs up, there's a clap. They are both black, hence the hatred. Okay, who are they both? They are both black. Okay, I know Meghan is part of it. Who's the other one? Okay, royalists are jealous that she can earn her own money instead of scrounging off UK taxpayers like the precious royal family do. And then they're getting loads and loads of cash from different places. This is the thing here. I don't understand. My goodness. And then the thing is that they're letting the royal family do their own thing, but yet the royal family have a problem with the two hardworking ones who's earning their money in a respectable way. Okay, what did they discuss other than her petty perception of why she's not being well liked by the public? I mean, wow, this is what you get out of that? Yeah, she is well liked, actually. There's that. Alright, the haters, you know, they be more than happy to show themselves, and when they do that, you take the opportunity to do that. I mean, there is a fair discussion and there is out of the way creating false perception. She was not complaining about anything. She just sharing her experience. All right. Next tweet. This is Alexis Horanian. That's Serena's husband. Okay, I'll never forget Olympia breaking her little arm during RG. Okay, yes, I had it handled, but Serena was in mama bear mode and wouldn't leave her for a minute. Played one next day with little to no sleep and a mountain of anxiety. This is the thing where sometimes you don't want to be in somebody else's shoes. You do not want to be on somebody else's shoes. And then on top of that, she was dealing with the media, with the way she dressed, the way she did. Oh my God. May God bless these honest women, black or white, who's on the public face, who's trying to make a living and at the same time be their authentic self the best way that they know how. May God protect them. It's not just Meghan and Serena. There's a lot of other women. May God protect them, because being in the public eyes can, everyone have a opinion of you. It could be good, bad, or anything in between, but those that go out of their way to trash you, to trash those people, this is the one where we need to pray for those women to not see them, because it could be detrimental to their mental health. All right, to whatever momentum, because sometimes when you have an idea of whatever it may be you want to do, and then you're so excited to share it with the world, and then someone come out of nowhere, say one minor thing and just crush your spirit. These are the people we want, those influential women who have a way to influence in a positive way other people, to not see those type of comments, because no matter how tough you may think you are, but sometimes those comments come and just crush your spirit. It crush your spirit. And I hope those ladies or men who have positive influence in the world, focus, just think that there's so many other people they are helping to continue their objective and help society at large, make people see a different way, because the world is running by crazies and stupid people who are selfish. So those type of little voices, positive voices we are hearing, we need it in our society to make the people who don't have how will I say that? I think in one of my thumbnails I've mentioned it, for those young people who don't have a direction for themselves, to come across people who are talking positive, to make them see things differently, instead of those negative people who's infiltrate those people's mind to make them do the negative thing. So we want a counteract of those negativity, this kind of thing. I hope anyone who have positive things in life to share with the world, come out and share it, because the world needs it, because the negativity, the people who are spreading negativity, they don't care. They don't see any restriction. They just think of their stupidity and they go at it. And then these are what many young men in particular are attracted to, and then we have the result of the type of society we are living in. All right, so why did I bring all of this in? Let me see here. What did I read to think of what I just said? Okay. Played and won next day with little to no sleep and a mountain of anxiety. Meghan Markle sat down with her long-term friend Serena Williams for the first episode of her new podcast, Archetypes. The podcast covered the misogyny women endure through everyday life. In the first episode, Markle and Williams discuss stigmas about successful women. All right, Archetype. Okay, you're such an amazing person. We are so proud of you, and thank you for the way you love our Queen Serena, and also how you both are so supportive of Harry and Meghan. Thank you so much. Serena's Army and Sussex Squad, we are one. There's this. Only the good husband appreciate their woman and support them 100%, even when they feel downtrodden by society. Cheers to all the good men. That's for sure. Okay, my heart breaks hearing Serena tell her story, and breaks again reading your experience. Blessing always to your family. But anyway, she's a strong woman and an amazing mother. Was amazed to hear this anecdote on Archetypes. Crazy to think what Serena has accomplished with so many challenges and inspiration. One thing that crossed my mind when I was listening to Serena and some stuff that she said, and now I'm thinking of it again, is that not to put any other race down, but you almost always is those who barriers have been put in front of them, okay, the hurdles that have been put in front of them, that many of these women who jump the hurdles or break the barricade of whatever the situation, the topic that they have gone through, and many women behind them are benefiting from. And then many of those women who are coming up after those barriers have been broken sometimes don't understand the struggle that was that happened before them. Many of the women who break those hurdles, those barricades for them. And I think there was one video, was what that actress, I didn't even know she was what is it, black. Actually, I used to think she's Asian in some way. What's her name? Something she played in James Bond. I spoke about her in one of my videos where the red carpet was laid out for her through Hollywood, and she was complaining about something. I don't remember what it was, but I did that video and I was done with it. I don't remember what I said, but she came to mind because there have been a lot of black actresses, men and women, who break so many barriers for her spot to be there, and then she came in, and then, you know, it seems like, from my perspective, I'm not saying that was her intention, but from my perspective, it seems like she was just trashing all the women, like Aretha Kitt, okay, which I spoke in one of my videos, her struggles to make ends meet in the business, where Aretha Kitt had to go to France to make her business and things like that. My goodness, I don't know, some of those old videos, I don't know why I decided to make those videos, and now they're coming into play. All right, bless her, and you. All right, so that's to bless her on the same comment and different comment. I love the way you support and love your wife and daughter. Your lady rocks. Lovely family. All right, next tweet, and I think that might be the last one for this video, but I'm gonna continue recording. Let me put a space here. All right, and this is why black women prefer to hire black nannies to take care of their children. Only they will look after them like they were their own. There's that. This is the nanny. She had that instinct to take Archie with her, and then boom, that's when the fire happened. Can you imagine that? My God. And I said it in one of my podcasts. I didn't, second part of yesterday podcast, and I think I've said it, I don't think I've edited yet, is that whoever said this, this has to be a setup. I will not believe anything else. This has to be a setup. But can you imagine if the plan did pan out? Can you imagine all the fault they will put on her? Meanwhile, she was purely innocent. She just stepped out to get something to eat, and she decided to take Archie with her. Wow, wow, wow. I think God took over her body because to say take Archie with you, because even in, let's say if they had put the fire down, but smoke inhalation could, you know, kill people as well. All right, I hope she's still working with the Sussexes. As a black nanny, I can attest to this being true. We treat like our own and love them like our own. God bless that woman for protecting Archie. If I had a kid, I would have trusted her too. Yeah, there's that word. Amen, sister. All right, let me add one more. I'm hoping it's the one that okay. Magazine, Meghan Markle sat down with her long-term friend Serena Williams for the first episode of her new podcast, Archetypes. The podcast covers the misogyny women endure through everyday life. In the first episode, Markle and Williams discuss stigmas about successful women. All right. Great podcast. Love the podcast so much. Funny, said, inspirational conversation. Thank you. The greatest female tennis player of all time. The amiable Duchess in one podcast. Love it. There's a heart. I feel so lucky to be alive in a time when two women who look like they do and have become what they've become can speak so transparently about their experiences in a way that helps everyone. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I really enjoyed this episode and jaw dropping that Mariah Carey is the next guest. Excited for this series. There's the heart. Great podcast. Gonna check it out. There's that. Okay, let's add one more. I'm 1 hour exactly here. Let's add one more. I'm hoping I get that other thing here. Alright, there's this. Even they know this one looks extremely bad. Okay, let's see here. So they do recall it. Okay, I think I mentioned it at the beginning of this podcast. Mystery of Meghan's South Africa drama. Royal sources said they do not recall a fire in baby Archie's hotel room during couple's tour, but says staff did unplug a smoking heater. I mean, they don't remember a fire. Oh my goodness. Of course, they have to downplay it. Alright, the fire that broke out in the room where Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's son Archie was meant to be sleeping in South Africa involved an incident with a heater that started smoking, sources had confirmed. Alright, so there it is, they confirm. Smoke. Okay, maybe other things could have followed too. Okay, Archie, then 4 months old, was not in the room in Cape Town when the heater began to smoke, but the incident left the Duchess of Sussex shaking and in tears, she told tennis star Serena Williams in her new podcast. So they did confirm it. My goodness. Okay, others are understood to recall the incident which took place on September 23, 2019, and while they do not remember there actually being a fire, the heater was certainly smoking and was unplugged and dealt with. Despite the upset, Meghan said in the Spotify podcast released yesterday that she was obliged to continue with official engagements, accusing those running the tour of concentrating on how it looks instead of how it feels. Okay, remember, those people are freaking robotic. There it is. Some of the things that I've said in previous podcasts. They don't have feelings. They're freaking robotic. Okay, robots don't have feelings. There it is here. How it looks instead of how it feels. Humans have feelings. Those people don't. And remember, Archie is not theirs. They have no feeling for Archie whatsoever. So they will not understand what Harry and William, what Harry and Meghan are feeling. So they don't care about Harry and Meghan's feeling. Okay, sources have defended the Duchess over the incident, saying it would have understandably caused concern to any parent. The Sussexes were subsequently moved to a different accommodation as the tour continued. Wow. Meanwhile, none of us knew about that. And they carry on, dancing and everything. No wonder Harry was like, let's go, we gotta go. Okay, it wasn't a fire, it was smoke, said the fair. And the haste to denigrate Princess Meghan, the fair is telling us that King Archie was in even greater danger. Smoke is more deadly. He was our months old. Okay, the killing fume smoke is more deadly than fire. Okay, fire and smoke are deadly duo. However, smoke has more tricks up its sleeve. Most fire deaths are not caused by burns from flames, but by inhaling smoke. Yep, that's right. There it is here, Fire Company UK. Okay, let's see here, Wackwool.com. Smoke inhalation is more dangerous than fire, Wackwool, February 20, 2019. Did you know that during a fire, people are more likely to be killed by smoke than burns? There it is. But eventually, the thing most likely would have caused fire. Whatever, maybe the thing that will, when... let's say you're gonna ignite a bomb or something, you put a track or something, you put the spark on something, and then it will run through the cord before it hit the part that will cause the explosion. I don't know how it calls, but can you imagine that? So maybe it was leading to the fire, so they put it out before the fire. So when there's smoke, guess what's gonna happen? There will be fire. My goodness. And this is why when people run into a burning place, they cover their faces, their nose. All right, you wet, if you can, you wet a cloth, you put it over your nose and if you can rescue somebody, and you go in and rescue it. But this is not recommended. Okay, I'm not a fire person. Please don't listen to me. I don't know. Please don't listen to me. All right. That's how evil the monarchy world is. They got invisible contract with British media to help maintain royal family into next century, but it's not gonna work. The palace is going down one by one. The world is watching and knew how bigotry, sexism, racism the British media and the UK are. Royal peoples attack charities. Okay, I keep thinking whoever didn't want the Sussexes to have security may be behind trying to kill this innocent baby. That's another thing too. Yep. And knowing what we know now, the amount of information little at a time is coming out. Can you imagine what Harry probably know and where he was fighting for that security? Okay, they better be careful. Whatever evil you wish on others may boomerang back on you. Sometime you may forget that. Okay, them. We don't recall fire, but we do recall smoke heater. Where there is a smoke, there is a fire. That's what I was saying. Exactly. Alright, this person said that exactly. There is no smoke without fire. Carbon dioxide inhalation is poisonous, which kills. Okay, I wonder where the saying "there's no smoke without fire" comes from. Alright, the fact that they defended her telling me there was an actual fire. Don't you need a fire for there to be smoke? And isn't smoke just as deadly? I hope they're not trying to say Meghan was lying, because either way, this would have been devastating for a newborn. Of course, their memories start to work now, huh? I'm telling you, these people knew about it and kept their evil mouth shut. Now, it's my question why. I don't like this sentence. Quote, sources have defended the Duchess over the incident. What the F? Why would Meghan need defending over simple being concerned parent? And once again, something Meghan once brought to light, they want to keep it hidden up. Okay, you're also right. Yet Meghan made Kate cry, was front page for months, but a fire in a room with a baby inside remained under wrap. If Harry and Meghan didn't leave that island, they would have done her like they did Diana. That's for sure. That's a different language. Okay, everything coming to light makes that institution look worse and worse. Every attempt to unalive Princess Meghan, Archie or Lilibet explains the refusal to come to that country. They criticize Kempton, but Kempton is safer than being in the palace of the royal family line. Why will they be moved if there was no fire and the problem was solved by unplugging a smoke heater? No smoke without fire. Okay, invisible contract. Why was this not reported on that time? At that time, they all knew. Yesterday, after it was brought up, the Rangers went wild saying she lied. They know our Meghan didn't lie and she has received. Why would somebody lie about that? And it's like bringing more stuff to her if she lied about something that huge. Okay, multiple quotes from no name sources. If nothing happened, why are they hiding? Okay, are they going to provide an explanation every week? Bringing the popcorn. That's for sure. Okay, I want to stop, but those comments are good. Let the whitewashing comments. It is not as bad. Okay, as bad as she said it was. Blah blah blah. Lie like there is no tomorrow. They don't know what's going through Sussex's mind. It will only take small amount of carbon monoxide, and 4 months old baby's lung cause harm. Thank God for the nanny. Okay, that's the laugh. That's never complain, never explain. It's really a thing of the past. Tell me again why they couldn't speak up when Princess Meghan was being abused by the media. Hypocrites. Okay, well, their recollection are certainly varying. That's that. They knew of the incident and never was reported. Invisible contract. One of the things that I said about the reporters who were traveling with them, maybe they only go to engagement, but the fire was somewhat a bit more private. I don't know. But the people who were in the background with the Sussexes, with the royal family, they knew about it, but they kept their mouth shut. But anyway, what they wanted is for them to go on national TV to show their concern, how bad they feel and all of that. The same thing, the same face that they put during Diana's death. Okay, walk behind the coffin and all of this BS that they pushed the kids to do. Meanwhile, deep inside, they probably were behind that. Alright, reading this reminded me, In 8th grade, we were evacuating from our classroom because the heater was smoking. There was no fire, but 2 students had to be taken away by ambulance due to the smoke inhalation. So even if their rebuttal was true, I believe Meghan, it is still a serious incident. That's for sure. Especially with a baby. Shame on them for trying to downplay and contradict what happened. Okay, and eventually whatever it is, because these are mechanical things, okay, maybe it would have caused fire, an explosion. Okay, it may not be a huge explosion, but enough to cause more fire. Okay, so why did no one report this information at the time? Same tour when Meghan admitted that she wasn't okay. Wonder if this incident had anything to do with her response. That's what I was saying when I saw that clip. Critics make Meghan sound selfish when in actuality she was a new mother who wanted to protect her baby. Okay, this kind of event would have been front page news had it happened to George, Charlotte, or Louis, but because it happened to their cousin, it's not a priority. They all are baggage for God. She's right, I agree with her. They didn't know it was smoking until they smelled it in the hallway. Must be a pretty bad smoke. Yeah, I think Meghan's main concern that there wasn't a fire alarm. That's right. And then for a hotel, and I'm sure they don't stay at a cheap hotel. It has to be, top hotel must have, with those technology that they have here, South Africa is pretty advanced. Okay, in medical and many other things as well. So I'm sure they are aware of smoke detector, carbon monoxide detector, and all of that. So how come they don't have that? Okay, so people need to think, if they did have it, who removed it? Okay, what was shocking is that they placed a royal baby in a room with no smoke detector. That's the thing here. That's the thing here as well. I was just talking about. I didn't even see that. Yes, because the smoking heater does not indicate the heater was on fire. Shaking my fucking head. Yes, smoke or fire certainly sound newsworthy. Where were the journalists? Okay, they probably just didn't tell them. Okay, the royal group that was traveling with Harry and Meghan and all of that, they probably didn't say it. But like they say here, if it wasn't if it was the other royal baby, they will say something and for people to feel sympathy for them. Okay, there's no smoke without fire, period. BP declined to comment, said Daily Mail 5 hours ago. And here royal sources said the smoke heater was unplugged. That's the laugh. So did they comment or did they decline? All right, so I'm gonna do another podcast, but let's do a prayer for this podcast. Prayer for protection. That's all. Prayer for protection. All right, let's see here. Lord God, I pray for your protection as I begin this day. You are my hiding place, and under your wings I can always find refuge. Protect me from trouble wherever I go and keep evil far away from me. All right, let's do an image. Let's do this one. Dear Lord, now that I'm leaving my home to go to work, as I read that first sentence, you know what came to mind? That in September, Harry and Meghan are gonna be in the UK, all right, to do some quick engagement. That's what popped up in my mind. And this, all right. Dear Lord, now that I'm leaving my home to go to work, I ask you for your divine protection on the road. Protect me from accident due to a vehicle malfunctioning or a reckless driver. Do not allow any injury come near my body. Open my eyes wide open and remove any distraction, Lord, so I can pay full attention on the road. Protect me also from crimes. Frustrate any plot against me. Cover me under your wings and hide me from the praying eyes of criminals. In the name of Jesus, I pray. Amen. Okay? So this, as I was saying, for protection, it's funny, I didn't even say it, but that was what was in my mind, because they're gonna go to the UK with some of the tweets that I was reading, and I'm like, oh my God, they're gonna go to the UK, and the podcast came out, this is coming out, and that's why I said protection. I didn't convey it when I said, but protection came to mind as my thinking was going on, and then this is the prayer that I came across, and that's for them when they do go to the UK. Alright, so that's it. Please take a moment to subscribe, like, and share. If you want to support this channel, there's a PayPal link in the description. You could donate or you could become a member. Those who have donated and who continue donating, I truly appreciate it. A penny, $1, $10, believe me, it does help. Okay, I truly appreciate it. Thank you, and that's it. I'm gonna do video number 2 for today's date.